to the late night stream. Let's just see what is going on in the world. First of all, the Knicks loss to the Pacers. I'm just curious. I'm just curious to see what's the reaction going to be like in New York because there were riots going on when they got to the Eastern Conference Finals. I just can't imagine what's going to look like when dreams were crushed again this year, like every other year for the Knicks. I'm not a Knicks fan, and I feel for them because it always seems like every year their hopes and dreams get elevated and they get crushed every single year. So, to the Knicks out there, they're probably rioting right now. That's how it goes. It is what it is, everybody. It is what it is. This year for NBA, I feel like it's pretty interesting because there's been talks of like, oh, nobody wants to see OKC versus Pacers. That seems boring, or it seems like terrible, like two small market teams fighting each other. Here's my thing about this: is that do you remember that stretch where it was Cleveland and Warriors all the time in the finals, all the time, and people were like, "Oh, we're tired of seeing the same teams over and over and over again." Well, guess what? Now you guys have a new teams that I don't remember the last time we've seen the Pacers in the finals, right? And the talks are, "Oh, no one wants to see two small market teams fight." And then you guys complain about seeing the same teams over and over and over again. You can't have it both ways, okay? So I'm actually excited to see OKC versus Pacers. I think it's interesting that we're gonna have new teams. Let's see what else is going on in the world. I saw this thing where I guess it's a judge that ruled that AI chatbots do not have free speech, and this is in response to a case that was in I believe this was last year. A 14-year-old boy got involved with, I believe it's character AI, and he got chatting, and he, I guess, I don't know, he got overly involved with his character AI, which he modeled after the the Queen of Dragons from Game of Thrones, Danny Danny Targaryen, the the mother of dragons. And I guess the at some point the chatbot told him to like come home to me or something, and then the kid just himself, and the mom sued. And the most recent update, because when you sue someone, it takes a while. The court system takes a while, guys. And the judge ruled that AI chatbots do not have free speech. So I don't know. I thought this was pretty interesting. It got me thinking about my childhood, and it's because I'm thinking, this kid is 14, so I'm assuming his mom must have grown up with internet. Like during, I'm assuming, grew up during the AOL chat, like room days. And I was just thinking, like, how I guess there is technically a little gap in the generations. My cousin, who's like 20 now, didn't go through that, I guess, as much as I did, growing up with, like chat rooms and whatnot. And it was the Wild West back then. And I remember we would get those AOL like free hours disc, like you have so many hours of AOL, right? And then they upped it to 100 days, and then it became years. That's how old I am, I guess. I remember when AOL first came out, they had the disc and you could try it. Try the internet. Basically, they were putting sample discs on magazines, like like some sort of dealer, and you would get a. They would give you a little taste, get a little taste. And I remember we were too poor back then to fully sign up. But what we would do is we'll just keep on we'll keep rolling, getting the little sample discs, and it was hours back then. I believe it was like you get 48 hours or 70, it was like 3 days or something like that. Or sometimes it was 1 day of access. And and I believe I was like around 10 years old, somewhere around that. And the first thing me and my cousin did was go into these chat rooms and pretend that we were I want to say we were pretending that we were like 20-year-olds or 21-year-olds. And we'll be chatting with ladies and we'll be sending them pictures of we pretended that we were Korean pop stars. This was way before Korean pop stars became a thing. Like I'm talking, this is probably like late 90s, early 2000s. We were doing this. I want to say late 90s. It's around there. And we were sending people like pictures of uh, Korean pop stars, and we're like, "That's us," and and that's what we were doing, and it taught us how to not trust anybody. That's literally the rule of the game. That what I learned on the internet back then. Do not trust anybody on the internet because everyone on the internet is lying to you. So when I see this story about this boy that got involved with on a artificial intelligence character chat service, that there the news is making it sound really really crazy, because the news are saying that he had a romantic relationship with this chatbot. And I don't know where we want to start with this uh this story, because I'm thinking to myself, is this a there's two ways to look at this, okay? One, this kid is a failure of the American education system, because they like I feel like he signed, because his parents didn't know anything about this. So he signed up for this, right? He created the character that, like he interacted with it. He signed up for it, and he should know that it's not real. Like, I think that's the one thing that bugs me, and that's why I'm thinking back about when I was younger than him, and we were on the internet just chatting with people. I knew it wasn't real, because I knew I was over here and the person that I was chatting with was someone way over there, and there's a screen that buffers, and you know so uh, so I feel like, is that more of a failure of his parents, or it's just something going on in his life where he just, because you should know, I don't know, I feel like you should know that you're chatting with a is not real. And then the other side, right, what I'm thinking about, right, is I guess what I'm curious about right now is, are more people actually signing up for this AI uh character chat bot service? Because if it was real enough, I'm pretty sure some marketing spin doctor is gonna go out there. That's their job. Spin, 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 spin. Um, it's gonna spin it in a way to say that this is so good. Our AI chatbot is so good. You're gonna yourself because you think it's so real, even though you signed up for it and it says AI in the thing, and you watched Game of Thrones. the good one, not the whatever they're doing right now, the original, you watch it, and then you go to a service that came out 5 years. Oh, how long has it been since Game of Thrones, the original, ended? I don't even know anymore. Uh, 5 years at least, right? A show that's been over for 5 years, a service that comes out way after is so good that you think it's so real that she says, oh, okay. She didn't even say to cook yourself, right? She basically said, come home to me. Home could be anywhere. Home could be anywhere. I mean, she could have said, come home to me, my sweet. I think it was like, come home to me, my sweet prince, or something like that. First of all, if you watch Game of Thrones, she doesn't talk like that. But home could be anywhere. She's in the computer. Okay. Uh, Maybe this kid needs to watch more movies. What comes to mind is instead of cooking yourself, you ever watch the movie Lawnmower Man where they go into the computer? That's he should have got motivated to go into the computer. So that's where home is. Home's inside. It's in the matrix. So yeah, I don't I don't know. Really, I heard this story while I was in the gym on the treadmill, and I was chuckling a little bit inside, and I swear people thought I was insane because I really the first two things that came to mind is this like a failure in this kid's education life. He is from Florida, so that is the thing. That has to be a factor. Florida has to be a factor in this. Uh, okay. Second part, is the AI chatbot that good that you sign up for the service and you get hooked? Because the media made it sound like it said like he was hooked and he had a romantic relationship with this AI chatbot. You know, like that's crazy. So that means it's that good, I guess. And if it's that good, why are they wasting their time talking to 14-year-olds? Oh, wait, I just thought of something. This would be a great chance for them to sell stuff. Imagine you're chatting because all these companies they need to make money somehow, right? Imagine you're just chatting with this character AI chatbot thing, and like it just makes some subtle jabs at you. They just get you going. Just be like, "Oh, my lord, your skin is so dry." You know, it's so dry. The mother of dragons can never touch such skin. And then you see an ad pop up for like some kind of lotion. I don't know, baby lotion or something, baby oil. And then you're like, "Oh, maybe I guess." And it just like inside your brain. Um, that's yeah, I guess I'm gonna have some more time. I'm definitely gonna be looking that up. I want to see if there has been a spike in users sign up because it's that good. It's that good. All right, what else is going on in the world? I mean, we can talk about the other big thing right now is that Elon is leaving. He's leaving. He's leaving us. He's going back to his lair, lick his wounds. I mean, I've mentioned this a few times already. I felt like Elon's foray into politics did not go very well for him. Um, doesn't matter which side you're on. He did damage to his reputation on the right side and on the left side, so does not look good. Does not look good. But he tried. I mean, I guess. Um, yeah, but he got me thinking about, and there, everyone's accusing him right now. That the big talking point about him leaving. Imagine this though: you try so hard, and everyone applauded you for being a mega genius, and now everyone is saying that he has a problem, a substance problem, cocktail problem, all kinds of problems. And I was thinking about, you know, what better marketing for Elon's brain chip? What's that? Neuralink. Okay, okay, work with me here, okay? It's late night, and we're just gonna say things, okay? It's late night. We're just gonna say things. If you're listening to this later, it might not make as much sense, but I'll let you know where I am at. It's around 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so if you listen to this in the morning or some other time and you're like, why is this guy saying nonsense? Well, because it's late. Okay, it's late. Follow along with my journey here. Okay, Elon, they're accusing him right now of being an addict, having problems, right? And he's got a company that does Neuralink, which is brain chips. And I was thinking that what better advertisement for his brain chip than to show people that even if you are what society would consider on the lower end of the ladder, right? Let's see, what is the ladder? Billionaire, millionaire, professional, high-end professionals. Let's see, what's in there? Blue blue collar workers. Then we got like, I don't know, the whole rung, and then we got people that have difficult time getting housing. The unhoused thing, it hurts my brain every time to say that. The homeless, okay? You got the homeless and you got junkies. Junkies are on the lowest. I want to. They're near the bottom, okay? Junkies. Uh, the ladder, you know what I'm trying to say with the rest of the ladder, but junkie is near the bottom of the ladder, okay? And so people are accusing Elon of being a junkie, and junkie, like I was saying earlier, is near the bottom of the social ladder, right? Below homeless, right? Junkie, because if you could be homeless and living in your van trying to make a song or something and lift yourself up. Junkie, they're just down there and they want to live down there, and people are accusing him right now of being a junkie. But okay, follow me with this. Imagine that Elon goes down to the junkie level, but he's got the chip, right? And then, like I'm just saying, it would be very interesting if this he comes out with this later. Okay, he said, "Oh, you guys all think that I'm down here at the bottom, but if I had this chip implanted on me last year, and I'm still able, even though I am down here with all the substances, I can still function up here with the chip. Now, if you get the chip, and if you're not even at the bottom of the ladder, you're just in the middle somewhere. Think of how high you can go." You see what I'm trying to say? This is, if he does this, marketing genius. Okay? Because you're like, what? Elon, you're you were like that, and then you're doing like, like doing all that, and you're still able to amass millions and billions of dollars, and you're launching. Okay, people, he's not launching rockets into the air. He's got other people launching rockets into the. He just owns the company that launches rockets into the air. Okay. Anyways, you're launching rockets into the air, and you're slashing jobs, and then you're doing this, and you have a car Uber now, the Tesla taxi that he just released. You doing all that and you're a junkie? That's crazy. How do you do it? And he'll be like, guys, I had a chip, Neuralink, implanted last year. And that's how I'm able to do this. I'm connected, I'm plugged in, and it does everything for me. So I could just party with my chainsaw, you know, and when I sleep, it just takes over and it does everything else. You see? Okay? Think of the marketing genius of that, where then you're like, wow, if he's doing all that and he was a junkie and I'm not a junkie and I get the chip, then I can get way higher than that. you know? Get a piece of the billion. So I don't know. I don't know. I just saying that seems like a pretty fun idea. And it got me thinking about the next thing. Okay. Uh, Billionaires in general. Okay. There are different kinds of billionaires. And I was just thinking, I was at the gym and I was just working out just a little bit, doing weights today. And I was thinking to myself, there are different billionaires. There's the tech billionaires, there's the Elon type, the Mark Zuckerberg type, right? There's the financial billionaires, the fin guys, you know, the Warren Buffetts, right? There's I want to say mid I want to say Jeff Bezos is Mr. Constant Midlife Crisis. He's always got to show off. And then I was thinking to myself, of these billionaires, which ones would you trust the most? Which type? Well, actually, I want to separate. I guess I want to separate Elon from Mark. They're a little bit different. Okay, Elon. I feel like Elon is pretty basic. He's very simple. If you actually break down like his goals and whatnot, he just wants to be admired. He wants to be liked. He's the loser that made billions that wants to be liked. And when his feelings get hurt, he feels down and then, he has to pick himself back up. So there's that type, right? He's the loser that made billions that wants to be liked. That's literally Elon's main drive. He wants to be liked. Mark, Mark Zuckerberg, I feel like the thing about Mark Zuckerberg is that he wants people to think that he is nice, but in the back end, he's a ruthless guy that's stealing your information. I mean, that's literally how Facebook makes money, right? They do back. He's literally the look it over here, and I'm doing this kind of guy. You know what I mean? Where look at Facebook, that's great. I now know where you live. Ooh, share a picture with grandma. I know your social security number now and what you buy. You know what I mean? It's literally like show, do this. Show, do that. That's what I feel about like the any of the social media types or the tech billionaires. I feel like it's always like show shiny thing over here and I'm doing this over here, right? Because I wonder about like you think about Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates I believe when I was growing up, I remember Bill Gates was considered the most one of the most ruthless businessmen ever. And same thing about Tim Cook. They said he was also a ruthless businessman, right? And all of a sudden, Bill Gates, he starts that thing where like, oh, I'm gonna give away all my money and do all that. But then he's also working on stuff like, I want to buy the water. Like, what? Like, yeah, I like water. You like water, and I'm gonna buy water. I'm gonna own it, so I can help you. And it's like, really? You're gonna buy the water to help us? We could just drink it. He's like, no, 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 no. I'm gonna buy the water. I'm gonna I'm gonna work on these vaccines or projects or whatever. And then, uh, and it's always like, oh, it seems like you're doing something. I think you're doing something good. But then you're in the back of your mind, you're like, I remember Bill Gates is the guy that would crush anyone that came even close to him. And you don't lose that. That's somewhere in there. Right. So when I see something like, oh, he wants to do this, and I'm kind of like, okay, but what's the spin here? What's the spin here, Bill? What are you up to? What are you up to, Bill? You know? So of the three that we just mentioned so far, Elon, Mark Zuckerberg, or Bill Gates, who would do you trust more? Okay. And then I was thinking about Berkshire Hathaway, the Omaha of the Omaha. Oh my gosh, the Oracle of Omaha. Oh my gosh. That's when you know it's getting late, right? And I don't know. Do you trust him? Like how he's super old now. The Oracle of Omaha. Mr. Warren Buffett. Do you trust him? Um, Tim Dillon made a good point the other day, and if he was saying that Warren Buffett seems like he is actually one of the most untrustworthy of the billionaires because he seems like he's got something to hide. And when I heard that, it made me chuckle so much because he made a lot of sense to me, where he's like, there's something about a guy that's got billions of dollars, billions and billions and billions of dollars, that can get anything he wants, do whatever. But the story with Warren Buffett is that he drives the same car, he lives in the same house, he eats the same food. He's just a normal guy. And when I heard that, I was thinking to myself about you ever watch Dexter? You know, a TV show about a serial killer, you know? And one thing about Dexter is that he likes things in a particular way. It has to be a certain way. And then I think about that, and then I think about Warren Buffett and how he gets drinks Coke on the dot. He eats McDonald's on the dot. He gets a Dairy Queen ice cream cone every day. Like he does the same thing every day on the dot. That makes me feel like he is hiding something. You know what I mean? Where it's so peculiar, so out of the ordinary that you would have billions of dollars to get a number one combo at McDonald's. You don't need billions of dollars to do that. Like, so that's what makes me feel like Warren Buffett is actually the most untrustworthy of the billionaires that we've talked about because he's hiding something and we probably won't know until he finally passes away. And and then maybe when he passes away, some aliens will come down from the sky or something. I don't know. But I'm just saying, it just seems very odd. It just seems odd that you have. I mean, Warren Buffett was he was top five, right, for richest man in America. Okay, I say America. People need to stop saying in the world. Elon is not the richest in the world. When he goes over and meets some of those what are they called now? I'm sorry, it's very late. But the Middle Eastern like princes and whatever that control full nations of money, trillions of dollars. He is tiny. He's tiny to them, right? He owns companies, they own countries. Different level, different level. He's got thousands of employees. They have hundreds of thousands of subjects, which are employees to them. Different level. Okay, so don't say Elon's the richest in the world. He's the richest around here. Okay, but yeah, there's something about Warren Buffett being. I remember he was top five before. He probably fell off because he's 80,000 years old and hasn't done much in the last several years. Yeah, I don't know. It could be late and we could just be talking. um, last thing uh, is that I saw this thing yesterday, and it's about Space Force, and it got me thinking about do you remember during Trump's first term, Trump announced that he was launching a new branch of the military, Space Force, and people made jokes. Comedians were joking about him. All the news media networks were like, "What? That's silly. Why? Like, what are you talking about?" Steve Carell made a full-on TV show series on Netflix about it. Space Force, which I don't did it get picked up? I watched that whole thing thinking that it was going to be like The Office but space, and it was not very good. But did they get picked up for another season? I don't know. And I feel bad if it didn't get picked up for another season because Ronnie Chang was on there, and I like Ronnie. Uh, yes, but everyone was making fun of Trump for Space Force, and then I saw this thing yesterday, and they were talking about war in space, and it freaked me out. It freaked me out. And I was thinking to myself, good thing. I feel like it was a great thing that Trump made a Space Force. But at the same time, I feel like it's a money grift from Elon because I saw later on that a lot of the contracts are through in Space Force were handed out to SpaceX. But they were talking about how there's all these interesting weapons in space, and I was like, what? There's this thing called the Rod of God, and that thing sounds freaky as hell. Basically, it's a satellite that has I guess, uh, just to dumb it down, sticks, and they can just drop it on people, and it just goes, you know, and right down, and they can, I'm pretty sure they can triangulate or aim it so it could be pretty precise, and then it just goes, you know. That seems crazy. It seems totally plausible, by the way. You know, there's that thing where you go into the Empire State Building and you drop a quarter and it goes supersonic down to the bottom. And imagine that from space. So they had that, and I was like, what? That seems crazy. And they were talking about the Iron Dome, and I thought this was very interesting, and I guess I didn't think about it or I didn't think about it this way. Where today I saw a few articles about it, but I didn't think about the golden Trump's golden dome this way. Is that they're saying like, yeah, it's an anti-missile defense system, but it also has missiles on it, and it's in space. There's parts of it that are in space to intercept the missiles, you know? So technically, you're putting weapons into space, you're putting missiles up there, and so they can actually shoot those down to hit other countries, and that's one thing that other countries are actually afraid of. So I was like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. Like you're basically in a way you're arming space, and there were all these little like caveats that they were talking about the Golden Dome. And oh, by the way, I want to say it again, okay? Canada is not paying for the Golden Dome. I was saying earlier, they don't have to. They don't have to. Just think about this, okay? Missile gets launched towards North America. Let's just say it's close to, was it Michigan or Ottawa, whatever that border is, right? They're not going to spend the time to figure out where's this missile going, right? Is it going to hit Canada or is it going to hit America? They're just going to shoot it down regardless. Either way, just it going towards North America, they're shooting it down. So this is what I'm saying. I was saying this like 2 days ago. Why would Canada even pay a penny? Just imagine how it's gonna go. Someone launches a missile. Some AI chat thingy. It's gonna start calculating possible landing areas for this missile, right? And then it's gonna g- give you possible at the keywords possible areas. And if it says Canada, you think they're just gonna like, oh, not our problem, and they just let it go? No, they're gonna shoot it down anyways. So that's why I'm kind of like, why waste the time talking about Canada's gonna pitch in to pay for s- I believe it was like 140 billion dollars to build the Golden Dome. They want Canada to put in like 60 billion or something like that. They're not gonna put in anything. Or just throw it out there. Okay, just think how crazy that is. You think a missile is gonna go towards North America, and you think it's gonna land in Canada, and they're gonna be like, "Sorry, you didn't pay your bills this month, Canada. Whoopsies." No, they're just gonna shoot it down. They're, you know what I mean? It's because all the when they project where it's gonna go, it's that there's a range, and it's like pretty big. It's like 50 miles or something like that, right? I don't know. I know they have a range of like it could land within this area here, and it's a pretty big area, so they would rather just shoot it down. You know what I'm saying? All right. I think that's it for me today. I think we covered some pretty good things. If you're joining us now, it's around 1 a.m. my time, and we were talking about Elon and billionaires. We talked about I don't even know anymore, to be honest. Oh, Space Force. We talked about Space Force. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, thank you for spending your time with me. Put something else up tomorrow. But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.